together and back on the ride.
Alright, so this is all for safety, so nobody gets hurt, everything is changed every year.
For safety and to make sure everything looks good, too.
Alright.
Yes.
Alright, Rick, what car are we inside right now? What's this?
This is one of the vehicles off of our mine ride. It's the runaway mine train, they call it. This is one of the vehicles on that. This is the last couple ones for that ride. This whole ride will be finished, complete, then we'll bring something else in.
Again, they take these all the way down to the chassis?
Every nut and bolt. Every nut and bolt.
So, Rick, is this the only shop like this, or is there any more like around the park like this?
This is our main shop. We have grown so big in the past 15 years that we had to expand out. So we have roughly 4 or 5 other satellite shops that we work out of. You know, we set up just for Joy and Winter overall.
Are the other shops in use right now?
All of them. All of them.
So this right here behind us is the Mantis coaster?
This is the Mantis. This is the stand-up roller coaster. And they're doing that one in this shop. A lot of our old vehicles are going down at the satellite shops. And then our water rides, and then they get done in another shop.
So when they actually check these roller coasters, do they find anything wrong with them, or is it just all maintenance?
Yeah, they find stuff wrong with them. You know, it's usually minor. We do daily inspections in the summer, so you know we check for every little fine detail in the summertime, so that we don't run into any big problems. And it's a constant maintenance thing to do.
All right, well, Rick, thanks for your time.
Very nice meeting you. You too.
Have a nice day.
Is it true that every morning there has to be a guy when the park is open that has to go up the Millennium and like flip a switch or something to make the ride run for the day?
Absolutely true. One of our maintenance guys, the whole point of that is it's a safety system on Millennium Force that ensures that the lift hill gets checked every day. And so a maintenance person has to inspect. We do inspect the rides daily anyway, but this is just an extra safety mechanism that the manufacturer built in, that he has to go all the way up to the top, climb over the top and go down the ladder, flip this switch that will allow the train or the ride to run that day, climb all the way back up and take the basket all the way back down to the station. The ride will not run unless he resets that switch.
Alright, so we're out in front of the Millennium Force with Tony, and Tony's going to tell us why exactly the cars are off the tracks.
Well, they're off the tracks for a good reason. That sounds really bad, but they're not off the tracks for a bad reason. During the winter, and you'll see as we go into the other areas of the park, we take all the cars, the train cars, the ride vehicles, we take them all off of their rides, and they go through a winter refurbishment. What they do is they strip the cars down to their bare skins, down to their frames, and they inspect each part. They look closely at the things they wouldn't normally get to look at during the season. Right. They get put all back together again, and these guys have already been looked at, so they're sitting here and waiting out in front of the ride for the weather to get better, so the guys can lift these up and put them back on the track and put it all together.
Right. Now I see some of these are covered up with bags right here. What's exactly under here? Are these some of like the electronics, or?
Yeah, that particular section on the car is the hydraulic system that keeps your lap bar from coming up.
Right.
So when your lap bar comes down, it actually can't get up unless there's an electrical current sent to the train that releases it. And this is just protecting the mechanics of that hydraulic system so that doesn't get damaged by the snow or the rain.
Right, so that goes along with safety first. So
You bet.
Got to keep that in mind.
What do you mean 4 more hours? Ah!
So this is the unload station of Millennium Force where guests get off of the coaster. And right now it's a little barren and there's nothing to see but snow piled on the tracks. Right next to the unload is a track that runs alongside the station. That's actually a storage track, so at night the ride operators will put the train cars and move the trains back onto that storage track so maintenance can look at them. And then this track right here is kind of interesting because to get the trains off, we have to pull a train into the station, and this whole piece of track moves from the left to the right, and then we can back it up on that other piece of track to connect it to the storage track. And that's how they look at it at night. The inspectors look at the rides at night, in the morning, and also periodically through the day. So safety, of course, number one. We're always looking at the rides. And hopefully by the time the park opens, the snow will be gone, and it'll all be ready to go.
Think about this. In 2000, the Millennium Force broke the world record for the first roller coaster to break the 300-foot mark. With Lance Heel. Lance, what exactly do you do here?
I'm the production manager for Cedar Point's live entertainment department. My responsibilities include everything from lighting and sound, all of the backstage things for most of the shows that we do in the park.
Well, like the live shows and stuff that actually go on during
the live shows, yeah, our ice skating show, our Red Garter Saloon show, Centennial, Palace Theater, our new Extreme Wheels show. Pretty much covered it all.
I heard something about a studio. Can we go down there and check that out?
Sure, let's go down and see it.
All right, so Lance, we're actually in the studio now, and this is where people try out. What are they trying out for?
We have several different positions in the park. Some are singers, dancers. Some are singer-dancer actors. Some have to just be able to sing very well or dance very well. It depends on the show and the role that we're actually trying to cast. The room that we're in right now is our rehearsal studio, not just for auditions, but this is where we'll do all of the choreography and train the dancers and all of their moves and things before we take it down to the theater.
Do you help out with the auditions and everything like that too?
At the same time that our team is working on the auditions, I'm actually doing technical interviews and looking for the behind-the-scenes guys. So I'll be in a different room.
So like sound and lighting?
Sound, lighting, scenery, stage managers, that sort of thing. Awesome. What they do in here is a person would come in and sing a couple of different songs. And then they'll be asked to come back for a dance call, in which they're taught usually a 2-minute dance piece, and then they're judged and rated on that. And then if we're interested in them, we'll give them a job offer.
Awesome. Well, Lance, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
It's been nice talking to you.
Nice to talk to you.
All right, so if there is a VIP person coming in like myself, what exactly would you do for a patron that has, say, like Hollywood status?
Well, the first thing we do is laugh at you for asking for a VIP tour, because you are a big celebrity and everything. I'm just teasing. Actually, we do a VIP tour in the park, which anybody can get. They pay for it. And we basically walk around the park and take people to the front of the lines of all the rides so they don't wait. With celebrities, if it's a high-profile celebrity, we might stay with them the entire day just to make sure that the guests do give them some space and let them enjoy their day. Because they're here to enjoy their day. They're not here to play the celebrity that day. This is their vacation away from the normal world, so we want to make sure it's the best experience possible.
And Tony is going to talk about what he actually does here with marketing. Tony?
Well, marketing is kind of an all-encompassing type of office department. We do publicity for the park. It's our job in marketing to get people to come to Cedar Point. Anytime you see a commercial, anytime you see something on the web, if you see a brochure, which I have, we do these brochures. Here's this year's brochure. Souvenir for you.
Thanks.
Our park guide, the map that you see when you come to the park, we also produce that here. Little things like this that we slip inside the park guide when you get to the toll booth, we do those here. We do all the writing for these. Our planning and design department designs them, but we do all the writing. So all that comes from here. We have a group sales department, which also gets large groups to come to the park. And they also organize the lunches and the dinners and the tickets and that sort of thing. We have promotions and advertising, the commercials, radio, TV, big billboards, all that stuff happens here. And we also do public relations and research in this department too. So TV, news, media, that sort of thing, we handle those here. And we do research, the guest surveys that we ask, people questions, like where they're coming from. We do all that here too. So all of that is in this building here.
So a lot of people really don't actually notice like how much goes into the background of this. I mean, I thought it was just kind of like word of mouth maybe, but there's actually a lot of advertising going into this.
There is. We have an ad agency actually outside of our park that does the advertising. Like they do most of the shooting of the commercials and things like that, but we come up with concepts. We share ideas with them, and because the job's really much bigger than what we can handle here, so they handle all that. But as far as concepts and direction, we tell them what to do here.
All right, so like on an average day for you, like kind of like what we did today, is that like pretty much?
That's exactly what I do. I mean, if a TV station wants to come and do a story on, let's say, a new ride or attraction, we go out there and we spend the day with them. We answer their questions and that sort of thing. You know, if there's even a film, if someone wants to shoot a movie here, we would be the people that would be with them. And then if something happens at the park, you know, sometimes, you know, bad things sometimes happen, not all the time, but we're the official spokespeople for the park. So we are the voice of the park. We talk about those things to the media. We also talk about the good stuff, the new attractions, the stuff we're building, and all that.
Speaking of the new attractions, what do we have to expect in 2008?
2008, there's a couple new things we got planned. The Planet Snoopy, the new children's area, that's our biggest news. The Sandcastle Suites is getting renovated, which we stopped at. And we also have some new shows that are debuting in a few of our theaters in the park. And those are the real big new events here at the park this year. So Planet Snoopy is the big event, and that will open on May 10th.
Think about this. The 1983 Demon Drop is currently on sale at Cedar Point for a mere $250,000. Hotel with